I developed a sense of purpose that drives me to contribute for my community through my research and teaching.
As an early scholar, I found my time for these training programs absolutely valuable.
Think about the questions that you saw in that promotion materials, these questions that are being explored in this community. How can I make my research, teaching, and community engagement more socially driven, transnationally connected, academically rigorous, and ethically sound?
How do we play our small little part, a moral, ethical, social, intellectual responsibility by using the same opportunity to do our work to also do something bigger? Hello, everybody. We wanted to create an informational video, basically answering a few questions that you might have before you apply for the program. Nasrin and Win, you completed this program last year and you're returning to lead the program this year. Was your time worth it?
It definitely is. Last year, as a participant, I went through the rigorous process of professional development activities to nurture my research and teaching skills. And the program has helped to transform my mind and challenge my expertise in my profession. And as a result, I developed a sense of purpose that drives me to contribute for my community through my research and teaching. I have also developed confidence in the work I do now because I feel I have taken ownership of my own profession, which is more likely to help me not only to achieve my professional goals, but also to do research with a purpose amidst the transnational problems that we are having in research-driven community.
We will be unpacking all of that wonderful philosophical reflection. But Win, was the program worth the time that you invested in it?
Yes. As an early scholar, I found my time for these training programs absolutely valuable. Being a participant within 6 weeks last year gave me insight into different aspects of how to become a social mission-driven scholar from not only theory-based but also practice-implemented activities. And these right inputs helped me develop my tentative plan to share my research with other HDR students at the University of Newcastle, Australia, where I am doing my PhD studies. More importantly, this motivated me to join this training team this year to transfer and support other colleagues who are in need and to contribute my learnings as a mission of scholar for a global community with more social impacts.
The second question is, how has the program helped you professionally and personally? Share some concrete examples. Let me share my own thoughts. I would say that even though this is probably 29th, 30th year of my teaching, and I have done this kind of professional development program for 10, 12 years, this one was particularly impactful for me because the way we designed the program, providing people packages of reading, watching, and doing activities that they could complete at their own pace using online resources that we created. They did powerful activities like envisioning a 5-year plan, writing that out, and writing a reflection. And then once they finished that, they came and shared with other people from around the world what they envisioned doing in the next 5 years. And that was transformative. And that's what Nasrin was talking about and what Win was talking about. The next question I'm going to ask Nella is, what are some changes or improvements we're making this time compared to last time?
This year, we have some wonderful enhancements to the program. We're adding office hour support so that participants can ask questions while they complete the module work. We will also be pairing participants using a general community sign-up sheet so that participants can work together with others who share research ideas and interests. We're also creating a very thoughtful and enhanced Q&A page, which will be a useful resource. And we are really excited to share that we will be translating many of the questions and answers because we want to speak your language and model the values and the importance of multilingualism. And we are also able to support selected participants because there are much more of us on the team this year.
Can you share some tips for a successful application and modules? Like, what do people need to do to present a very successful application, because the application is going to be very competitive. And if we get, let's say, 300 applications, we're going to select 100. How do you rise to the top 100?
I'm really delighted to share tips for not only completing the application, but for doing the work of the modules itself. I think probably the most important is looking at the promotional materials that describe this very unique and transformative professional development experience. And remind yourself the why. Why are you joining this global community of scholars? Think about the questions that you saw in that promotional materials, these questions that are being explored in this community. How can I make my research, teaching, and community engagement more socially driven, transnationally connected, academically rigorous, and ethically sound? Are you willing to engage in these questions? That's really critical. This is the work that's being done. I also think it's very, very important in advance of the application, but also, of course, of each module, is that you are willing and able and organize in advance the time that is necessary to very thoughtfully and honestly engage in this work. This is going to be your work, not someone else's work, to learn about, practice, and advance a values-driven mission of scholarship for yourself and for your local and global communities.
I'd like to highlight especially that when you see something online, this is an online program, you click and check the box and hit enter, right? We were shocked last year that out of the 200 people that applied, we selected 80, I think. A lot of these non-selected people were like, they wrote 20 words. It simply says, write 200 to 300 words, answer to why you're invested in this program. What would you do in addition to just benefiting for yourself? How would you apply this kind of knowledge in your local community or transnational community? They just wrote 20 words. And we're like, this is not just you. It's about a community building effort. It's about how we learn something, give something, and grow by giving. It's about a vision. It's a different attitude. The reason we wanted to do this program is not to run another course. It's not to generate income or whatnot, even though there is a small commitment fee or as an alternative commitment mechanism. But it is to advance a different kind of scholarship in the world. A scholarship that says, I will not simply publish to get a job or promotion, but will publish to get a job or promotion while also using the power of a professional, scholar, researcher, academic, intellectual, scientist, doctor, engineer, to actually address the critical challenges of the world. I'm not going to do one without doing the other. I'm not going to pursue my personal selfish, cynical mission of certificates and CVs and jobs without also using those CVs and certificates and jobs to make the maximum possible impact on the world that is facing pandemics, ecological disasters, political crisis, and all kinds of challenges, income inequality, violence against women, right? War and invasion. How do we play our small little part, a moral, ethical, social, intellectual responsibility by using the same opportunity to do our work, to also do something bigger? Because doing the second enhances the first so broadly, so widely, so deeply, you will be shocked. So for that kind of program, if somebody's writing 20 words and simply wants to get a certificate, we'll simply throw it out. We don't need too many people, to be entirely honest with you, right? We want the right people like you, who is now listening to us. If you decided to listen to this video so far, it probably means that you are that person. But please give us the evidence. But please give us the words, the emotion, the engagement in your writing, so that when we read that one paragraph, 200, 300 words, we're like, yes, this is the person, right? And when you start doing the project, you need to really invest the time, not like 20 hours a week, 4 hours a week, 5 hours a week, but the quality time. Any other thoughts, Nasreen and Win? What are some ways to make a selectable application?
So for me, when I look at the application, the information of the program, I read very carefully the information, the instruction, and whatever. And I try to link to my current position as a PhD student and think more about what my future plan could be. So that's why when I put into my answer into the question, I I answer the questions, I try to link what I am now and what I am doing in the future, connected to the program can provide me. And yet I just follow that. And I think it's not very complicated at all, but try to think about who you are, what you are going to do, and what your plan. Now, what are your plans for your social contribution or for your community contribution? Just that's it.
I think having a voice is very important when you make an application. Sometimes what we do when we write an application, we do a little bit of research, and while we are doing research, sometimes our voices are lost. So finding your own purpose, own voice, and making it very clear when you are writing an application for this program, that is very important.
Yes, read the program materials carefully and highlight and underline words and ideas along the way, and that will trigger your own thinking and say, this is the person that I'm going to describe, and this is the project that I'm just going to describe, and this is how I'm going to make a inspire. So inspire us, right? We're not here to simply go through the motion of a training, giving lectures. There's no lecture here. It's going to be you exploring with our support.
There's a common strand here, and that is to inspire us, to inspire yourself and the community that you hope to be joining, to be your authentic self, so that you can recognize the authenticity and honor that authenticity in others by the work that you are doing. We really do hope that you take the step, that you recognize and read what we are intending to do.
We hope a lot of you will be selected, and we hope to work with a lot of people from around the world. Thank you very much.